This is Snake. Can you hear me? Good. The mission is simple. Put your geek pants on and infiltrate Foxhound. If you need backup, contact Ken and Chris on their codec frequency. Ready? Snake out.
All right. So what are we doing here with this Camcast?
That was that. So this is a new Camcast.
Okay. All right. So
I'm Ken Livitski.
I'm Chris Mercier.
And for the next 2 episodes, we are going to be talking the Eastrail 177 trilogy. I just love it.
I actually, because I was trying to figure out, they were saying the Shyamalan trilogy.
The Shama Marathon. Or
Shama or something. And I remember just being like, really? And then I caught the Eastrail
177
trilogy, and I was like, okay, all right.
I mean, honestly, I kind of like it.
It's kind of, well, because
it's better than Unbreakable Split Glass.
Yeah, but I like it works because, well, I mean, once you know that it's literally the same city, then you're like, oh, okay,
yeah,
all right, but yeah.
So we're gonna talk Unbreakable Split today.
Yeah, we are.
And then we're gonna dedicate one whole episode to Glass.
Yeah, we're gonna sleep.
We haven't
here.
talked about it yet.
We're gonna sleep here. We're not gonna change our clothes.
Nope.
You
will be in your underwear by the end of it.
Hey, we've got a couple female viewers that may want to see that.
Speaking of which, we have 2 new followers we're going to give a shout out to.
Oh, man, this is exciting.
KG, just simple KG.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hey, KG.
Hey, KG.
And
Kilogram.
Oh.
You're welcome.
And he just stopped following us.
Yeah, that's it. It's over.
And Terry Parkinson.
Yeah, I know that one.
You know that one?
Yeah.
You know Terry
Long-time
Parkinson?
buddy of mine.
Yeah?
Long-time buddy of mine.
Well,
We,
hey, Terry.
Hey, Terry. We used to party, way back, in high school time.
Yeah.
And then, we just kind of went our separate ways. Then I started working at Walmart, and shortly after he started working at Walmart, so we started, hanging out again.
Yeah.
And then he moved away.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, showed up in town. We hung out. Not for very long. But again, I was fighting through the sickness. Yep. So we hung out, and I mentioned this, and he literally, beside me, went, boom, fallen. So I was waiting.
There it is.
I was like, oh
there
man.
it is.
Oh, man. So
we got some superhero talk. So I think this is a good time to bring this up quickly. George Pérez has announced a retirement.
Yep. I saw that the other day, and I was like, I was going to message you about it, but I was like,
you know what? It's funny because we just talked about him a couple episodes back.
That's right. I am amazed that he went this long.
Because he's got to be in his 70s now, right?
And I've looked at some of his most recent work. No, he's not outpouring work monthly.
Yeah, covers and stuff.
He's still
just as good.
He is still at the same level of detail that he was 10 years ago.
Yep.
Okay?
Easily.
And I'm still like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
You know? But it's one of those where it was bittersweet because I saw it and I was like, oh man. But at the same time, I was like, but still.
You know what? I'm happy he's retaring before he passes
for no
away.
other reason other than he's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know?
So many artists are just you read and they've passed away. They passed away.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like especially creative artists like that, I don't know if this is necessarily going to be an actual retirement or maybe just a hiatus, because maybe that voice will speak to him and he'll go, I have to draw this.
It's hard to say. I mean,
it's hard to say.
He could be like Sean Connery. For years we were like, he's not done. He'll come back. He never came back.
Please don't jinx it. Please don't jinx it, because I'm not the hugest Sean Connery fan.
But he never came back, though. That's because you got that bitter taste of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in your mouth, and you left it in there and then disappeared.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No? What it is, is as far as actors go,
yes, strictly
my opinion,
and it's always wrong,
he's not that good of an actor.
No, he's not that great of an actor. He's never gone out of his way. He's like
the last 10 years of Bruce Willis.
He's Jason Statham.
Yes, very much like Jason Statham.
Always Sean Connery.
He is the same.
You're either gonna like that or you're not gonna like it.
Yeah, and either depending on the movie, it may fit perfectly, or it might not.
Mm-hmm.
Like Highlander, fit perfectly.
Yeah.
Right? He was a little bit happier to be in that movie. movie, I guess you could say. But that one movie where he had the ponytail and the singlet weird thing.
Medicine Man?
No.
There's another movie where he had a ponytail.
He had a this is like a
that
70s,
one.
like sci-fi
Where it was
thing.
like,
He wore like the Borat swimsuit.
Ooh, that was gross. That was really. Oof.
Like,
Oof.
kudos for having that level of confidence.
Yeah.
But also, he should have had the wherewithal to be like, look, I'm confident that I can pull this off, but I shouldn't, because this is horrendous.
Yeah, this is bad.
How am I supposed to take you seriously? Like straight up. You're wearing a fucking singlet. Okay? Like, this thing here.
Ugh, it was
okay?
gross.
And maybe this episode you'll see the rant, maybe not, but I did a rant on wrestling.
You did.
Very recently did a rant on wrestling. They wear next to no clothing.
Yep.
But even in that level of singlet, with anyone's physique, you're still going to be like, I can't really... You could have just finished eating a child, and I'm still going to be like, I can't take you seriously. Fucking put pants on or something. Christ.
Gross.
Oh, but yeah, so, you know.
Gross. See, I liked Sean Connery. Because not so much as James Bond, because Roger Moore was my dad's James Bond. So I didn't really watch...
And growing up, we talked about this before too. Growing up, my James Bond, like as a kid, was Roger Moore and Pierce Brosnan. Brosnan was more mine until I was old enough, and I was like, Daniel Craig's the best, in my opinion. He's the absolute best. But my heart of hearts, what I grew up with, was Pierce Brosnan and Roger Moore. Yep. So I have a soft spot for those two. Mm-hmm. So I'm with you on that one.
So it wasn't that. It was watching the Indiana Jones with my dad that made me love Sean Connery.
Yeah, and okay, like... That is an example of when I really liked him. When I started to dislike him was, and I talked about this with my wife, I think literally last night or the night before, was Entrapment with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I liked Entrapment.
Movie itself is great. Yeah. But that's the first time, and I wasn't even that old when I watched this movie, but that was the first time where I was like, this guy's 80. She's like 25. How the hell are they hooking up? Mm-hmm. I don't care how much respect and reverence she has for her mentor. How is she like, yeah, put that 80-year-old dick inside me? That's the worst way to put it, actually.
Well, she's a method actor. I mean, she married an 80-year-old man, so...
Okay, but that's different.
That's different.
That's her in real life.
Yeah, but if Mike Douglas can get it up, why can't Sean?
That's her in real life, though.
Yeah.
That's different.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time that I went, no, there's no fucking way.
First time I watched it, I was like, what, 14, 15? And I was paying, I wasn't even looking at the fact that there's old dudes all over. I was looking at the fact that she's in a cat suit going underneath those laser lights and shit.
That's probably why I was so bummed out, because I was like, he's 80 years old. What has he got that I don't?
Yeah.
I mean, I
got... old cock.
Yeah, I still don't have that. That's nice. Yes. I'm quite pleased by that one. That is true. So. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that anymore. Yeah, George Pérez. That's where I was.
Yeah, George Pérez. George Pérez is retired. So thank you very much for everything you've done.
Amazing artist.
You may never ever see this or any of the other camcasts we've done, but you are definitely one of my favorites. You always have been. So thank you very much.
That's the pre-talk.
Is it?
That's what I got. You got more?
Yeah, I do. I got a little something. I got a little something here.
Hit it.
What are your reactions on Spider-Man Far From Home?
Oh, yeah, that.
Still not liking the name. I'll give you that.
Looks good.
I think it looks great.
I'm not liking Far From Home at all. It should...
The name?
I don't like... Far From Home, don't like the name.
No, I think they should leave it...
Don't like the name.
Homecoming was great.
Fitting because it was coming back to Marvel.
Yeah, plus it was like the homecoming dance. Like there was a couple of... There's duality to it. I like this. Far From Home.
Why are they playing off home? Like...
Just leave it. You could do Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. You can do Spider-Man 2, or, I don't know, use anything from the 100 comic books that he has to play.
Yeah. The title is probably the least thing I like about it.
Yeah.
I do like how they show the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After we waited forever for it. In retrospect, I still think this is the right idea, released in January, so that it doesn't take away any heat from Spider-Man into the multiverse.
The comments I've read online from confused people is amazing. Like, is this before or after Infinity War? I'm so confused. What's going on?
Okay, if you don't bleed comic book stories and stuff like that, that's fine. I'll let that slide. I won't be as much of a hater as you are. I'll let it slide.
I hate things.
I know you drink Haterade a lot, but that's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah,
it's so dumb, but I love it. I do like I like how you see Gyllenhaal full Mysterio gear, and he looks awesome.
Mysterio looks amazing. I
Here's
need
the
to
thing
see
I
more,
really
but he
liked
looks awesome.
Is that in the actual movement scenes,
Yeah.
he's got the fucking bowl in his head.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it may not actually be a fishbowl, and it could just be whatever.
Yeah.
But it could be like an Iron Man thing where it just pops up to protect him. It's
Mm-hmm.
a dumb protection thing, but I'm just glad he's got it.
He's got the bowl.
He's got the colors.
Yep.
He doesn't look too far removed.
Costume looks spot. He's even got the weird gauntlet things.
Yeah, they did a couple of different things with the colors, but
Yep.
it's so close that I'm like, yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
this is closer than Vulture. And
Oh.
Vulture looked amazing.
Oh yeah, way close.
So he looks really good. I do also like that they immediately show you Nick Fury, but here's the part that I like.
Oh, see, I wonder if it's the same thing I don't like. Go.
Well, okay, no, but what I wasn't gonna say that I don't like it. I'll get to something that kind of bugs me,
Okay.
but I'll.
You know what?
that's
I'm just gonna
a
listen.
little thing.
I'm just gonna
But
listen.
here's the thing I like is that immediately there's like these rumors around because they're like, oh, that's not really Nick Fury, that's Chameleon,
Ah, yes.
and I'm just like, okay, yeah, like I mean I know where he's may or may not officially be in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he may or may not be Nick Fury. The one thing that bugged me about this scene where Peter walks in with Ned and Ned gets darted is that no spider sense.
That's the same here.
That was the first thing I thought was I was like, how did he not?
Like I
He would have some level of awareness that something, maybe not necessarily knew that Nick Fury was there, because his spider
that
sense
doesn't matter.
is not as precise
It's
as
just-
Daredevil.
But it's still just sensitive.
But it's enough that he'd go, wait a minute,
If
Ned.
it's any form of danger, he senses it.
He would stop Ned from
Yeah.
getting in the room. He'd
Yeah.
go first. He would
Yeah.
do something. He wouldn't
Yeah.
just stroll in like, oh, you drugged my friend.
A dude, like whether you know Nick Fury from TV or not, it's a dude with a gun sitting in your bedroom.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So like,
mean,
that was one of the things that I was like,
They showed it in Infinity War with that thing in the background in New York.
not only did they
The
show
ship
it,
landing.
not only did they show
the
it,
hair goes
but they
up.
talked about it.
Yeah.
They weren't just like, oh yeah, no. They were like, no, we treated it like he didn't have spider sense in the first movie, but he's still like new to his powers and he's still young. So as he's growing, so then when we saw the spider sense, we were like, oh, because I was like, holy
Right?
fuck, that's
Because
awesome.
that was way over there. So
And now he doesn't have it.
And now it's gone again.
So we'll see.
I don't know what's going on with these solo movies.
We'll
no
see.
Spider Sense, no Uncle Ben.
Hold on. No Uncle Ben?
Okay. There was a friggin' BP on his pack sack or whatever it was.
It was actually BJP.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Although-
Finally, then
we have an actual overt reference between that as opposed to the suit he wore in Homecoming.
Yeah.
Being his uncle's. Which I think they should have actually sat there and said, hey, this was your uncle's.
Mm-hmm.
You need to wear this is your uncle's. And then he had that shot of him like, okay. You know?
Yeah.
But we've talked enough about how much there should have been Ben in the first movie.
We talked about Homecoming a lot.
So overall, as far as the trailer goes, I am excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that we saw 3 costumes in this one.
Yes.
That really surprised me. So that makes me believe that when we see him in the red and black suit, that's towards the end of the movie.
Okay.
I feel like that's going to be like the last half hour that we see that suit because he's in blue and red, right into Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see the stealth suit. So my gut tells me the Stark suit gets destroyed somehow. He gets this stealth suit for that one particular mission.
Yeah.
Reverse engineers the Stark suit to make his own version of the Spider-Man suit. That's my theory. And I think that would be really cool.
I'm okay with that because it would show he's got some brains though.
Yeah, exactly. More so than just like
Doing spelling
hammer.
or math.
doing a hammer thing. Like, hey,
Yeah.
we got to take this gem off.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, they did a better
Yeah.
job of making him seem smart in these movies than in most of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Raimi movies, they established he was a smart kid. He was a fucking nerd. They established that.
Yeah.
They did establish in Amazing Spider-Man that he was smart.
He was smart. He created his web shooter.
He created his web shooters, and I remember thinking that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But they didn't really make it seem like other people were like, no, this guy's fucking smart. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's a little bit different because the school he's in, I get the impression that, or at least the class that he's in,
Yeah.
is a class for gifted kids. But to have him make his own suit, reverse engineered, I think would be one of those things where you could be happy because he made a suit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be happy too, but you're right, like it'll make him seem smarter. So I'm excited for that. The Captain Marvel trailer, the most recent trailer.
Yes, I saw that one.
Is probably the best trailer I've seen.
It is the best trailer.
It has me kind of sold on the movie itself. I'm not sure if I'm seeing it in the theater yet, though.
I'm gonna watch in the theater just because I feel like if I don't, I'm gonna miss something for Avengers.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
So,
but what if it's a Black Panther thing where we're like watching it, going like, "What are we gonna see?"
True. True. And there's nothing.
There's not even a hint of a gem or anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not pumped per se, but I'm more piqued. I'm more intrigued than I was. I think it's going to be good. But again, it's one of those things where ultimately I want it to do really good as long, like, if it's got a really good positive, like if it's like Wonder Woman, where you walk out of that and go, man, anyone can watch that movie and think this is great. Mm-hmm. But also there's like that message that you could just be better, you can help people. Then ultimately I want it to be like that. I want it to be like most of the Marvel movies where you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because then it just means more people are going to watch the movies, more people are going to read the comic books, more people are going to support the industry, mm-hmm. right? Because we're touching more people, and just more and more people are going to go, no. I don't have to live like that because I got all these fucking heroes, right?
Yeah.
That's my main point with comic books, and I'll defend that till the day I die. Like, if my kids turn out to not be in comic books, that's fine. I'll die a little inside, and I'll probably drink more because of it, but I'll deal with it.
I will raise my kid the exact same way my dad raised me. Yeah. We're going to start you off with the Archies.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, we'll start you off here, and
yeah.
once you get a little bit older, here's a couple of options,
mm-hmm.
but we can look at whatever you want, and if you ultimately don't like comic books, then you're your mother's kid, and it's not my responsibility.
Yeah, she could pay for you to go into hockey.
That's right, whatever the fuck it is you want to do now.
Whatever you want to do.
But, so ultimately, Captain Marvel, I may end up seeing, I'm more than likely going to see it in the theater.
I'm going to see it in theater. I don't know if I don't think it's going to be like it won't be an opening night. I don't even know. Yeah. And if it is opening weekend, it's gonna be like 11 a.m. on Sunday or something.
Yeah, I don't see it opening weekend at all. I see it one of those where word of mouth, when I hear, oh, it's actually really good, or it's this or that, then I'll see it. I mean, Brie Larson?
Brie Larson.
Yeah. She looks like she's having the time of her life in this one. She looks like she's doing a really good job.
That last trailer was better, showing that she has a personality.
Yeah, exactly.
The first two were
the
just
only thing I think that's going to be hard for me to navigate is this whole, like, alien Kree human thing, where it's almost like she's got human memories, but she was raised on the Kree. It might be like too much story, you know, instead of just saying like Star-Lord. His mom was human, his dad wasn't.
Oh, I did notice something about the latest Captain Marvel trailer that annoyed me. Was that Nick Fury says, "I'm from S.H.I.E.L.D." Whereas there was no S.H.I.E.L.D. yet in Iron Man 1.
Yeah, they were strategic.
Coulson came up with it in the Iron Man 2.
Strategic, homeland, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Here's the other thing. I actually saw a picture of what Samuel L. Jackson looked like in 92. Mm-hmm. And it's hilarious how he doesn't look like he was CGI de-aged. I got a kick out of that. I did get a kick out of that. But you're right. He does say S.H.I.E.L.D. and she's just like, do you have this patch on everything?
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of funny, but at the same time I was like, you don't say that to the cops. Mm-hmm. Oh, you got the little badge on everything? Mm-hmm. But plus she was part of the Air Force.
Yeah.
They have the fucking Air Force.
I know. Badges all over you.
Just one of those things I was just like, oh, that's kind of funny until you think about it.
It's strange because...
But you're right.
Yeah.
100%. Coulson came up with it. Because, who was it? Stark said that's too long.
Yeah.
And then...
was it Stark or was it Pepper?
Might have been Pepper, actually.
I think it was Pepper.
I think you're right.
Because in Iron Man 2, he says, we're S.H.I.E.L.D.
We're S.H.I.E.L.D. And she went, oh.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I think that's... last one. Shazam. Looks delightful. It looks delightful. I can't think of any other word to describe it. Like, I watched that trailer, the new one.
The new one was the best trailer yet. That transformation while he jumps off the roof was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was shot with a boom and then...
Dr. Sivana with the fucking powers. I want to know how he got his Shazam powers.
I definitely got a Man of Steel vibe with Superman and Zod flying around the buildings there, though.
That looked great.
Yeah.
That looked absolutely great.
Mm-hmm. Is that the pen?
Maybe.
Might have just been.
Might have been false alarm.
Might have been a crack.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That one, as of right now, I'm definitely seeing in the theater. That's for sure I'm seeing in the theater.
I'm going to watch it. It's still not an opening weekend type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this year we probably had the most superhero movies ever.
Yeah.
In 1 year.
There's 2.
And there's maybe 3 that I'm excited for.
3 that I could see opening night. Spider-Man, Avengers, naturally.
Yeah.
And Hellboy.
Okay. See, for me, it was Glass.
Right, yeah, because we are 2019, that's right. So,
Yeah,
okay, Glass,
so it was
check
Glass.
that off the list.
Glass, Avengers, and even though my excitement has gone down greatly because of all the problems, Dark Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that in the
Yeah,
theater.
but I'm
I
still
definitely
excited.
want
I'm
to see
still
that.
pumped for it. I'm very upset that it sounds like New Mutants is going to get pushed back again and end up on Hulu now. Not even go to theaters because of the Disney deal. Fuck you, Disney.
Oh, that actually really just put a sour taste in my mouth. Because
I just like
after that
freaking Disney
fucking teaser where it
Yeah.
actually looked like a horror
looked
flick,
awesome.
I was like, oh my god. Yeah. And then they're like reshoots, and I was like, okay, so so goodbye X-Men horror flick.
Yeah, so
And then now, if it's getting pushed back even further and it's going to Hulu, well, then what the fuck was the point?
Yeah.
Why not release it on
Which
the
means
Disney app then?
If it's going to Hulu, that means Netflix for us, which means no physical release to put with the rest of my X-Men movies.
And we gotta get physical releases soon because they're getting to a point where they're not gonna do them anymore.
No, you'll have to pay like $50 and only make like 2,000 limited quantity or some shit.
I'd probably still do it though.
But Hellboy, I was excited for until I saw the trailer, and the trailer just gave me a whole like, why even reboot this? This looks identical to the Del Toro movies.
I got that vibe, but I was okay with it.
I need more. They keep saying it's dark and it's really gory.
No, I agree
I'm
with
like,
you with
well,
that
then
one.
you shouldn't have done this trailer. 'Cause
I
this
agree with
trailer-
you. You're right. Yeah.
This trailer just looks like, why not make Hellboy 3?
You know what really bugs me about that trailer is the scene where he gets out of the van and he gets fired at, and he's like, "Hey!"
Yeah.
I was like, well, "That's really over the top."
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I complained about the way his character was in Hellboy 2, where he was like worse, more childish than ever.
Yeah.
And this one, I was just kind of like, what the fuck? But
Yeah.
other than that, I'm still just, I don't know. But I'm also a Hellboy fan, though.
You're a Hellboy fan.
I'm a
I
Hellboy
mean,
fan.
I like Hellboy. I've read it a few times, not consistently like you. But
I haven't read it all the way through, but I've read enough where now I could just...
my main Hellboy comes from the 2 Del Toro movies.
First one was
and the
really
2
good. Like I
animated
told you,
movies.
first one was really good because it was 90% Seed to Destruction.
Mm-hmm.
And then just a couple of things they changed to make it a little bit more palatable.
Yeah.
Second one was awesome.
I love the second.
Second one was so great.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, like in retrospect, it's interesting that they mined a fantasy route instead of the more horror aspects, because that's more of a horror book than anything.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I guess, you know what, maybe I'll hold back and just say because you're right.
I need another trailer.
The trailer...
And I need one that's going to show me, okay, this was worth the reboot.
Something that makes you go, holy fuck.
Yeah. So tell you, if the Crow reboot ever happens and I watch the trailer and it looks just like fucking Brandon Lee's, I'm going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it'd be...
You gotta have
like
something different.
City of Angels, where you're just like,
Yeah.
why'd you make a sequel? It's the same fucking movie.
It's identical. Oh, he turns into crows now, though. Weird.
Oh, yeah. And he was
Yeah.
French. That's
And
right.
he was French.
He was cast because
And
he
he
looked
was
like Brandon.
French.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that was a bad freaking movie. Yeah, but...
Okay, so I think that's about it.
And Joker, I'm not...
Oh, no. I have no desire. No desire. I'm okay. I'm all right.
Yeah, I think...
Last thing real quick. No. Leave it. Last thing real quick. Did you watch Titans yet?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Watched it all the way through.
Did you?
I'm going to tell you this. Because I was told this.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger ending to end the season. I'm telling you this because if you didn't have this knowledge, you would be fucking pissed.
Oh.
Okay? It's worth watching.
Yeah?
It's worth watching.
Cliffhanger ending to end the first season. So season 2 better fucking happen. Or else
Oh,
it makes me
season
feel
2's
like I
happening.
just wasted my time.
Season 2's already happening. It's going to
I
start
hate
filming in
cliffhangers.
February. It's already filming in February.
I haven't started watching Punisher yet.
I haven't either.
I've been in one of those moods where I just want to watch feel-good stuff, and I've been rewatching How I Met Your Mother from the beginning.
We, well, actually, recently we were Amazon Prime.
Yep.
We just started to, well, apparently we were Amazon, or Michelle was Amazon Prime.
Oh, if you got Prime or not, you automatically got the service.
But anyway, so we started watching Jack Ryan.
Amazing.
Ooh,
That is awesome.
That is so good.
That's
We're
really
like,
good.
I think 4 episodes in, so we're halfway through.
Yep.
And I was like,
Oh, you wait till the last couple episodes.
ooh. It's
Good.
so good.
Good show.
So good. Not necessarily feel good, but that's a great
Not
show.
feel good, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's got early 24 vibes to it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
No,
it's
I was
in
never really...
No? Don't like the keeper.
Nothing wrong with Kiefer Sutherland.
Hmm.
Come on, Lost Boys. That guy could, like, kill people, and I'll still go, but he was in Lost Boys. Leave him alone.
And I'm like, Disney's Three Musketeers?
Also good.
I
also
love that
good.
movie.
That's right.
People are like, are you serious? Fuck yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen and Oliver Platt? That was amazing.
That's right, yeah. That was really good.
Chris O'Donnell in tights before he became
D'Artagnan?
Robin.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that in the theater
Tim
with you.
Curry was back. That was one of my birthday movies.
That's right. I
'Cause
saw
it
that in
came
the
out in
theater with you.
December.
Yeah, that's right.
The birthday movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many a movie we saw.
Many movies. Spider-Verse was my birthday movie last year. What will win this year? So, you ready for Unbreakable?
I'm ready for Unbreakable.
All right.
I'm ready for one of my favorite superhero movies that I almost never remember as a superhero movie.
Yeah. It is easily still in my top 10 of all-time superhero movies, which is amazing considering this came out the same year as X-Men, which means there was hardly any superhero movies before this.
Yep.
That's crazy.
No, I agree with you. I
That's
agree with you
crazy.
100%. If we're talking top 10, yeah, Unbreakable's
Yeah.
in my top 10. Because it is... It's
a perfect origin story.
a perfect origin story. The other thing that's great about it is that it's a great story.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a great story, and it's right there, right before every single Shyamalan movie had to have a twist.
Right.
Or like they telegraphed and they're like, what's the twist? What's the twist?
Exactly, because before this, it was just Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Had a twist, obviously.
Yep.
Unbreakable had a twist, but it wasn't one of those, like just out of nowhere type of twist.
No, it
Like,
wasn't.
you kind of like, oh, wow, they were building to this the whole movie.
It's the twist in the sense that like when you rewatch The Sixth Sense,
Yeah.
I feel like after you watch The Sixth Sense the first time, there's a short window for how many times you can watch it again.
Right.
Like, so you watch it, you get to the twist, and you're like, holy shit. And then you rewatch it so you can go, oh, those are all the things that I missed. And then after that, you might get one more watch out of that. Because I think I've only watched it maybe total times now, 3.
That's one more time than I have.
And I'm guessing.
Sixth Sense is one of the best movies ever made. But it's one of those movies where once you know the end,
exactly.
as soon as you start watching it, it's just like, well,
because
where
the
this
second
is
time I
going
watched
now.
it, I wasn't watching it. I was literally going, "That's right.
Yeah.
That's the other one.
Yeah.
That's the other one. Oh yeah, these are all the hints that I missed completely."
Mm-hmm.
And I think I may have started it the third time. Was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's like you said, it's one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah.
It's again Willis like during his prime where he was just like it's funny because they talk about how he's sleepwalking through these movies. He's more subdued in this movie, in like Sixth Sense and Unbreakable, than he ever has up until that point. Ever he was up until that point, you know.
Yeah.
And yet he's getting shit on for this stuff. I think part of it is just taking terrible movies.
Yeah, he's pulling a Nick Cage, like we said before. He's just doing everything now.
Yeah. Hey, if the script doesn't make any sense, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I don't know.
But anyway, more importantly, Unbreakable. With the twist, I feel, yes, it's a twist, but I can rewatch this movie a million times.
Yes. Easily.
Like,
I never get tired
start
of
it halfway through, I'm
Mhm.
finishing it.
Yeah.
3/4 empty, or ending, I'm finishing it, because I'm still blown away by how great this movie is.
Mhm.
It's, I don't remember ever coming across a plot hole, so I feel like it's a perfectly written movie. M. Night gets some slack for his dialogue. I have no issues with the dialogue here.
None.
At all.
None whatsoever.
Every single person in this movie is great. I mean, the kid that returns in Glass.
Isn't that great that he got the same kid to come
I
back
literally
19
went
years
like this.
later?
I looked at him and I went, I think that's the same fucking kid.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like the same fucking kid.
And I don't think he's done anything really.
I don't think so either. I think he literally came
Like,
back.
he came back. He might be, running a company now or doing something completely different from acting. And he's like, okay, I'll come back.
And you know what's nuts? He didn't miss a beat.
Didn't miss a beat. because that chemistry with Dave Dunn as his dad is still
Yeah.
there. Still
But
there.
yeah, so we had the kid, even Robin Wright Penn.
Yep.
Who's always kind of flown under the radar, I feel. But
I thought she was great in this movie.
that's what I mean.
Again,
she's flown under the radar.
Great chemistry with Bruce Willis again. Yeah. The acting in this movie is so good.
It's so good.
You know what's funny about because Samuel L. Jackson is Elijah Price, but his mom is Charlene Woodard.
5 years younger.
5 years younger.
5 years younger.
Because they bring her back in Glass too, and I was like, how old is she in real life? And I looked it up.
When we watched Glass,
Yeah.
Michelle was saying it almost looks like she's got burns on her lips. And I said, I guarantee you that's what they did to try and make her look older, because I bet you, because I didn't know this at the time, but I was like, but I bet you she's younger than Samuel L. Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say anything other than that. I just said, I bet you that. And then, of course, later I looked, I was like, motherfucker's 5 years younger. That is hilarious.
Isn't it amazing to not be born yet and have a child?
But she was -5 when she had him,
-5.
or whatever the.
Yeah.
But I was just like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk too much about Glass. Well, I'm gonna reference it
are
a bit.
Yeah,
Simple, and I'll reference Split a little bit, but
it's hard
not
to talk a little about Glass just because, I mean,
ultimately
this goes to that.
Unbreakable, like David Dunn in Unbreakable, is one of my favorite Bruce Willis characters.
Favorite Bruce Willis characters. Again, favorite superhero origin story.
Like John McClane.
Also,
David Dunn.
the fact that Shyamalan just decided to I'm never gonna.
Shyamalan.
I usually just say
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan a ding dong.
Nice.
I usually just throw that out there because I don't know how to actually.
It's Shyamalan.
I'll say Night because it's badass.
Night. All right.
I love that Night named with 2 D's.
Of course, the alliteration.
Peter Parker, Matt Murdock, Bruce Banner. He's gonna be a superhero.
Yeah, the Marvel way.
Yeah, the Marvel way.
Reed Richards.
That was very cool. That was just like a
Sue
simple
Storm.
little touch.
Oh yeah, no. The second that David Dunn, I remember just being like, and I remember watching the trailer for this movie and being like, oh my god, oh my god, and then I ended up watching it with you the first time at your store. That's right.
Yeah.
I did not see this in the theater, and I can't remember what. I know, probably money. I probably just didn't have the money.
I got this great memory of Unbreakable because I did watch it in the theater, but my brother wasn't making a lot of money because we were just working at the shift or whatever a week at the store.
Yeah, exactly.
Unbreakable came out on DVD, and I wanted it. I didn't have money for it. He saved up his money from the store.
Yes.
Bought me, which I think is up there in the DVD area somewhere. But he bought me like the collector's edition. Oh, it's right there, right in front of you.
I remember that. Yeah, that's right. Wait, hold on. Where am I looking? Jesus Christ. Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember that's
he
when
brought that home and he surprised me with that and like
you probably did that
that's
thing
a really great memory.
where your brother gave it to you and you went like this, you went, oh my god, it's the nicest thing ever, and you probably cried.
Yeah, I probably did.
I probably would have too. I'm not gonna ball bust you for it, but anyway, I remember watching that with you and just being like gripped the entire time. The entire time. I could not take my eyes away.
It's the story, the acting, but the way that it's shot. Like just simple, subtle shots. Like when he survives the train crash and they got that scene of him just sitting on like the patient's bed, if you want to call it. But they're like down the hall kind of and just looking through the door and the doctor's walking back and forth and talk to him. He's just sitting there.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 or 3 minutes straight of that shot.
Yeah, exactly. Just this far shots you see.
Yeah.
All of these people.
But look, 20 years later, and that shot's in my mind because to me, I don't know what it was, but that was so effective to me. Like
I also love that part where he's just like, he's sitting there and he's just like, why are you looking at me like that?
Yeah.
And he goes, the reason why I'm looking at you like that is because, I mean, I can't remember the exact number, but he's they had 1,500 people on this train. Yeah. Most of them are dead. The rest are injured. You are the only one. And you don't have a mark on you. You're the only one that doesn't have a mark on you. Mm-hmm. Not even a scratch. Oh, that's right. He goes, so to answer your question, that is why I'm looking at you like that. And I remember just being like, we're in for a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
You know?
And then it's just like, Price meets him because he finds out who survives.
Puts the card on his dash,
so he goes
or his windshield.
He goes to the limited edition comic store to meet him. And he asks him about sick days. And he goes to his boss at the stadium.
Yeah, he's just like, no,
I get it, right?
I've taken sick days or whatever, and then, but I love it too because, like, you see this high-end comic shop where like, Elijah Bryce is treating pages of comic books like art. Mm-hmm. And I remember immediately, like, as a kid growing up, like, looking at that going, that's 19 years ago, so I would have been 17.
Yeah, it was a half a lifetime.
Yeah, 17. Now. So I'd have been 17. So I was like deep into comic books. Like I was past the kid just liking comic books because that's what kids do. I was in it. Like this is pretty much the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I remember just being awestruck that someone would actually open up a building, like a storefront, and treat these like art because we look at it like art. Mm-hmm. We don't look at it like, yeah, it's a nice picture, it's a nice drawing. We're just like, no, that's art. That's Gary Frank circa 2019, okay?
Yeah.
You know, that guy over there, that's George Pérez in his 80s. You can tell by the intricate line work that he's, you know what I mean? We're doing that move. So I was like, I can't get over this. And then he starts saying this stuff that every kid wants to believe. I believe that superheroes are real. I believe that all those stories that we heard from myth were actually real. Mm-hmm. They just got passed down and eventually took the shape of comic books. And I remember just being like, within minutes, this mythology has already grown. You got a guy that was the only one that survived this thing without any injuries at all.
Yeah.
He might as well have just strolled off the train, everyone else got fucked up, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have this guy, it sounds crazy, but you're still just like, that would be so awesome, you know? Because these stories still happen. We still have this mythology stories. We still have like Greek gods and all this stuff.
Yep.
We still talk about it to this day. So that part, I was just like, man, this is so amazing. There's a couple of things to the twist that when you watch it, you do pick up on.
Yes, absolutely. Once you've seen it, you don't the first time.
Not at all, but you do pick up on it. And one thing I will say, and this is another thing that I like about this because it's a perfect origin flick for David Dunn.
Yeah.
The Green Guard.
The Green Guard, or whatever you want to call him.
For Overwatch? No, it wasn't Overwatch.
Overseer.
Overseer, that's right.
The Overseer. The
Overseer. I couldn't tell you which one I liked better. The old, like, comic book fan of me?
The Tiptoe Man.
The Tiptoe Man I thought was hilarious.
That was fun.
I thought that was hilarious. But I thought the Green Guard was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of a little throwback. But the Overseer was also
I don't think his poncho was green in Unbreakable. Was it green in Unbreakable?
Yep. I think it's actually the same one.
Is it?
Well, I think it's made to look the same, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's
I just remember it being darker.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But I love that he does this whole big spiel, and Dunn's with his kid, and his kid buys into it immediately.
Oh yeah.
And
believing
you can see that
father's a superhero.
Dunn's kind of like, but then he's just like, "Nah, man, you're crazy. You're crazy." And like they do that weightlifting scene.
Oh, that scene,
which is incredible.
Son's just adding more and more and more, and then he gets up.
I love it when you see the weights.
Yeah.
And then they pull away, and now it's just Dunn with the weight bar.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And he's doing it. And then he's like, how much did you put on? Not much more. He goes, okay. Does it again. And again. And then finally he goes like, how much was that time? And he goes like, all of it.
Yeah, there's like paint hanging off.
And then they pull back and it's like all the weights.
Yeah. Paint
buckets. Whatever the fuck he could put on there. And he's still just like, he exerts effort. But it's never like, this is going to kill me. Mm-hmm. Not the normal reaction that your body does. It's just like, nope, you're not doing this. We're going to shut down, man. Mm-hmm. And I just like, oh, man, I love that scene. And they grow closer because they're sharing this moment, And then up until this point, he didn't share with anybody. And we have a flashback, so we find out what happened.
Yeah.
But like, you mentioned the scene where he says about the sick days.
Yeah.
The boss goes, "Oh, well played, sir.
Well played. We looked it up. You've never taken a sick
Never
day.
once were you sick, so guess what? You get that raise, pal."
Yeah.
And I love that he's just like, okay, but it's not why I was asking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do like how the crazier the Price gets, though, that's when Dunn starts to shut it down with his son. He's just like, no. I'm not anything special, okay? I'm not a superhero. Don't listen to him. He's a crazy guy. And he goes, you want to know the truth? I was sick once. When I was a kid. I almost drowned in the pool. And then I had pneumonia. I was in the hospital for like a week, okay? But he says that to Price, too. He actually, or he says that to Price. That's right.
Yep.
He goes, no, you're wrong. I was sick or whatever. And even then, I was like, huh. Because they build him up, and you're like, is he a superhero? He must be, right? And then they do the flashback. Or no, he figures that he was like, what is your weakness? That's what it is. Every hero's got a weakness.
You got your kryptonite.
That's your kryptonite. And then he's like, but I'm trying to figure out why you stopped. Because he was a football guy. He was head of the football thing, and he had the injury too. That's right. Because he said I got in a car accident and I couldn't play football anymore. And then he was just like, it was the girl.
Mm-hmm.
And they do this scene.
Didn't want to lose the girl.
They do the scene where, you know, he was playing football. She didn't really like the idea that he was playing football because she didn't want him to get hurt.
Yep.
They got into that accident, and there's that awesome scene where he's literally just taken the door off, bare hands.
Yep.
And no CGI. It's all practical effects, so it looks as real as it possibly can be. And then you go, oh, he did it for her.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to lose her.
Yep.
So he faked the injury, gave up his football career. Now you understand that this is part of the reason why he's not happy with his life. It's also part of the reason why he's not happy with his wife and that they're having issues.
Yep.
And it's only until he starts being the overseer, the green guard, whatever you want to call him.
Yep.
And he starts actually using his powers to help people or to stop bad guys, that his relationship with his wife gets better, his relationship with his kid get better, until the kid pulls a gun on him.
Right.
That part was
intense.
intense.
He does do that. Yeah, that was intense.
That was intense.
Yeah.
If you pull that trigger, and I don't die, then I'm leaving forever.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pack my stuff and I'm going, and you're never going to see me again. And then you're just like, I was like, that's the best card to play.
Mm-hmm.
Because the kid believes. The kid is in. He's seen him do the weights. He's in. So yeah, he's going to pull the trigger. So he's like, fine, you do it, I'll leave. I was like, oh. Like, there's so many parts of this movie that I'm like, you can't take anything out of this movie.
It is so well written.
You can't take anything out of this movie without it being amazing.
Though apparently the whole Beast thing was originally in this script.
Really?
Yep. Beast was in Unbreakable.
Wow.
He pulled it all out because it was too much. And then you put that aside.
That's genius, though.
Yep.
That is smart. That's smart that they had the wherewithal. But what was I saying? One of the reasons I like about how it's an origin movie for Dunn, but it's also an origin movie for Elijah Price.
Yes, absolutely.
It's very much like Spider-Man.
His flashbacks.
It's very much like Spider-Man. Because you're right. We get primarily Dunn's story and Price's story, and that's it.
Yep.
You know, we know that he's got a huge love for his mom. His mom loves him very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because his mom actually reminded me of my mom, because my mom was the reason why I started reading comic books, just like his mom was the reason he started reading comic books. Mine wasn't for the same reasons. Mm-hmm. Mine was, I'm a single mom, I got 2 boys, I don't really know what to do. My older brothers read comic books, so here's some comic books, and if you like it, great. If not, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm going to do after this, so please, God. Because I don't have money for anything other than, like, karate, maybe?
Maybe.
Please don't want to do karate. Which we ended up doing. Until we couldn't afford it.
Karate was awesome.
But, fuck, man, that movie is so good. So good. I love this scene where Dunn is starting to buy into it. Because, what was it? Right at the beginning, he had a flash from the guy with the gun.
That's another thing I love. The fact that he could just touch someone and get flashes of any
just something
evil that they've
done. And at first he's saying like, I just had a feeling.
Yeah. And
then Bryce is like, yeah, but you knew he had a gun. no, I just had a feeling. No, but you knew he had a gun. He's like, yeah. How'd you know? I don't know. I just saw it. I touched him and I just saw it.
Yeah.
Boom. I was like, oh. Although I will say one thing about Glass, though, that I liked that M. Night did his cameo. Normally, I don't like him doing his cameos.
Yeah, I was going to mention that during Glass, but yeah, let's do it.
I'll just do it just because he was in the first, like in Unbreakable.
Yeah.
In the second one, or in Glass, and then references it. Hey man, weren't you a security guard at the...
Which is great to show that, 19 years ago, he stopped this guy, and he put this guy on the right path.
Yeah.
Now he's
I thought that was a really nice touch. I mean, if they didn't do it, it wouldn't have changed the movie at all, but I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That is so great.
Really good.
But, but yeah, but then we actually get to... I can't get over how chilling this bad guy was. Because he was real.
He was creepy.
Just,
he was real.
He was real. He saw him in the... Where did he see him? Because he went to a public place. So he bumped into him at, was it the train station?
I think it was a train station, right?
Train station, yeah. So he had his raincoat on. And just did this Jesus-esque pose.
Yeah, and
just touched people. Just let people touch them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't get over that. Nobody talks about that Jesus pose.
Yeah.
This is a Jesus pose. But
not in a poncho, I guess.
Not in a poncho. And then he bumps the dude that literally just, you got a nice house. Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. Boom. Right in. Kills that guy. We don't know that he's got a wife and child. We just know that he got fucked up. And I remember just being like, holy shit. And this was before, like, home invasions were part of movies and being, that's the scary monsters. These guys just bust in and do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And he just walked right in, fucked that guy up, and then that was it. And you're just like, and even he's like, holy fuck. You know? That was an incredible scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fight scene, where they're like, he's getting like shoved in, because he's just holding on to him. So shoved into like walls and thrown into things. And I remember like, even at that point, I remember thinking, I'm so glad that like, it looks like they literally just said, this is a house, we're going to shoot it here.
Yep.
You know?
And you're going to run through the walls.
You're going to get run through the walls. We're
like,
gonna
it looked like real
up.
impact.
You know? And the beauty part is because of the rain slicker, he could have had padding or whatever.
Exactly.
Helmet doesn't matter. But the fact that it looked like he was literally getting shoved through these things. And also, it didn't even have to be Bruce Willis. It could have been a stunt double.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked so much more real. I always look at that fight scene and I'm just like... The other thing, too, is that it's an ugly scene. It's an ugly fight scene. It's not superbly choreographed.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I said with, like... Because I mentioned how I am a sucker for, like, 20, 30-year-old Japanese women wrestling. None of that is pretty. There's a lot of, like, it's not like they botch things, but it doesn't look, it's not perfectly choreographed, right? And I remember the first time I saw that, and I was just like, I can't get over how much more real this looks, because they're not perfectly landing everything.
Right.
You know, it looks like a real fight.
There's nothing flashy about it.
Exactly. Like a real fight is going to be just ugly and gross, and when it's done, you're not going to be like, you're going to be like, oh, God, this is kind of gross, right? And that's how you feel, especially when he's thrown into the pool.
Oh, and then it's
just pool cover.
And the cover's just like kind of like swallowing him.
Oh, they talk about that as they say, that's your weakness. That's why you were in the hospital.
Yep.
And then he throws him in the fucking pool, and it just, like, he goes, and just slowly
you see the
dips in, covers him, and I was just like, and then, how the hell does he get out? Who saves him? I can't remember now.
The gun, doesn't the gun go off in the water?
I think the gun went off in the water, but didn't,
he gets out. I think, the kid that he saved inside.
That's right, because he got them out first.
They pull him out.
He got the kid out, and the mom, mom didn't
Mom died. It was just two kids.
That's right. It was the two kids, and one of the kids got them out. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because I remember even just that alone, I was like, that is so awesome. That is so awesome that they're like, no. And then he gets in, he stops the guy, and that's the climax of the movie. And then you just have that awesome scene, because he, up until that point, the last thing he said to his son was a threat. fucking pull that trigger. I'm out.
Yeah.
It's over. I'm leaving. I'm never coming back. And then does that paper thing. Just slides it over and looks at him and he goes. And they just have that little thing.
I love it.
Just that little thing between them, and he goes.
His son, it just starts tearing up in the eyes.
And then like, that's it.
My dad's a superhero.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy fuck. I watched that movie with you, and I remember immediately going, like, I gotta watch this movie again.
Yeah.
I gotta watch this movie. And I actually, believe it or not, do not have it on anything other than VHS.
Well, at least you got it on some format.
I downloaded it on my phone accidentally, just so that I could rewatch it. And do you want to know the truth? Actually didn't end up getting around to watching it.
No.
Sounds like I did.
Yeah. Well,
sounds like I watched
it's
it.
that in the mind.
But I watched it so much.
I watched this
first of all
2 years ago, I think was the last time. No, 3. I was in BC when I watched this last.
We were... last time I watched this was at Georgia Bay. I got Michelle to watch it with me.
Yep.
And it was like watching it the first time. I was like... It had been enough time in between, but I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Yeah. And here's a fun fact. She actually doesn't remember watching it.
Really?
She did not like it.
She didn't like it?
She didn't like it. Split, however.
I don't think Adrian liked it either. Too slow-paced or something, maybe?
I think that was the thing.
Yeah.
It was so slow that she was not engaged enough to even, like, catch, like, the stuff. Because I remember she asked a couple of questions, and I was just kind of like, you know when you don't want to be rude, but at the same time, you're like, your first reaction is, he just fucking told you what he was doing. You know? Like, he fucking told you what he was doing. But anyway, so you have that scene, touching, everything's great. He's got his wife. They love each other, or they're not going to leave. She's not going to leave. They're going to stay together.
They're going to try again.
He repairs his relationship with his son. So he goes, and goes to see Elijah Price. And I can't remember exactly what he said. But Price is just like, he's like...
Well, Price is out of the room, and then Dunn sees the papers on the wall, doesn't he? Of, like, all the accidents?
No. He goes, he says, I think he said he's going to tell Price to leave them alone. Don't bother his son or anything like that or something like that. Or no, he thanks him. He thanks him for saying, hey man, you got me. Like, you woke me up or whatever the fuck it was. And the guy goes, yeah, hey man, shake my hand.
Right.
Takes his glove off
and then
for the first time ever. So they actually skin to skin. And then boom, he sees multiple... Or no, he sees the train.
It wasn't just train, though. It was...
He sees him get off the train. He sees him get
fire, building fire.
Building fire. And then when he's, let's go, and Price is like, a lot of times the supervillains know each other. Sometimes they're best friends. And that's when he's looking over and you see the newspaper
right,
of this catastrophe, that catastrophe. And subvert any more possible superhero movies. Because again, this came out X-Men. The big climactic battle didn't happen. We got a blurb. Dunn left, called the cops. Cops showed up, and he got arrested for multiple counts of terrorism. Multiple acts of terrorism. And that was a phrase that they used for one of the first times in movies I ever saw was terrorism in that one. And I remember just being like...
This movie was before 9/11, too.
And it blew me the fuck away when he shook his hand and solved these things. And you're like... He caused the train accident, but he caused all of these other things.
What was the other one? A plane? He took down a plane?
I think he took down a plane. He caused a massive explosion. He did the train. And all of it was just to find somebody who was the opposite of him.
Right.
You know what they called me in high school? Mr. Glass!
Yeah.
That's it. That movie's over. I was like, I can't get over how awesome
Fade
this
to black,
fucking
and
thing
it's just
is.
like...
Ugh.
And you know what?
And, before I forget... That fucker was wearing purple the entire time.
Yeah.
He wore classic villain colors the entire time.
Black and purple.
Black and purple.
Black and purple.
Fuck you, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was so great. Sure, Dunn was wearing green, which is typically...
Does he actually say that too? The villain always wears, like...
He says it, I think... he references something about them wearing the colors.
The colors.
I think after he references it, you don't notice, but he references it, and then they leave him until the ending. Because then you can't make that connection anymore because it's almost a throwaway comment, or we're too busy going like, yeah, because you got Dr. Doom who wears green, and then you got Green Goblin who's got both of them. You got Mysterio, both colors, right? And then you get there and you're like, motherfuckers are purple and green the entire time, and purple, green, and black. He wore it all the way through.
So good.
I still love this scene where he falls down the stairs. He's chasing the guy, eh?
Yeah.
He's like, he's trying to get him to stop so he can ask him if he's got the gun. And just as he's about to pass out from the pain from breaking multiple bones in his body, and he's just lying like this, he just happens to see the flash of the gun, and he's like, that's him.
Yeah.
Like, gun's the guy. And I was like, oh, man, like, I can't get over how great this movie is.
It's a perfect movie.
It is. It's a perfect movie, and it's also one of the rare perfect
honestly,
superhero
not
movies.
one thing I don't like about it.
There's not one thing I don't like about this movie.
No.
The only thing I don't like about this movie is it took 15 years to get a sequel. But the way they did the sequel is
I gotta say,
amazing.
I love the music though too.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
Like James Newton Howard, who did all of Knight's original movies.
I actually don't like that you purposely made eye contact with me.
Nice.
Because you knew I didn't catch it at first. Because I was like, Knights, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh yeah, the Knights.
Knights. But yeah, no, it is such an awesome theme for David Dunn. And I love that. I love that we hop into Split, and the composer that did that movie gave the Horde their own theme. That just that creepy grinding. It's just like, it's chilling. The music is chilling.
Do you have anything else to say about seminal classic Unbreakable?
I don't. I love it. Critics didn't like it when it came out, and they were stupid.
Oh, I'm shocked. The critics.
It didn't make money either.
It didn't.
It was almost a complete bomb.
And it was funny too because he followed Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense, breakout hit,
huge money,
massive success,
awards.
He would
Critics
never been able to make this movie had he not killed it with Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Follows it up with this, and then immediately people are like going, "Oh, I guess he's a one-hit wonder."
Yeah, and then does Signs, which becomes his biggest movie.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Signs. Signs was the next
made
one.
More than Sixth Sense. Yeah.
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 Although Signs was pretty good.
It
took me a couple of watches because I remember the first time I watched it with you, and I remember just being like,
I love all five of his first films. All five of them were because Signs. They did The Village, which a lot of people don't like, but I really like The Village.
It's the ending for me.
I love that ending.
That ending for me was what killed it, and because I remember being in.
Yeah.
Signs. It was after a couple of watches that I was like, you know what? Yeah, no, this is an absolutely great movie. For all the themes and everything that it's about, great movie. Regardless of the stupidity of aliens that are allergic to water show up on a planet that's 70%
Must be related to David Dunn.
Yeah. I shouldn't say allergic. That's what killed them.
Yeah.
That was their weakness. But then the ending for Village, I remember just being like, fuck this. And then the fairy tale or whatever the fuck it was.
See, I like
Lady in the Water.
Lady in the Water, I like.
Lady in the Water,
it's a modern
I wanted
fairy
to like
tale.
so bad, and I just didn't.
It is hated on by people, and I don't know. I love that movie.
You know one of the reasons I didn't like it? Knight is not a good actor.
Knight.
He's not even an actor, really. He's just... Part of the problem was that was at the height.
Yeah, he went full on in that movie.
Straight to his head, and he went, I'm fucking starring it. Not necessarily starring it, because Giamatti had the star.
Yeah, he's not a star in it, but he is a supporting character rather than just a cameo.
Yeah, so that was distracting, and it wasn't that good, although Bryce Dallas Howard...
She was so good in that movie.
I was going to say she was attractive in that.
She was very attractive.
She was really good. All jokes aside, she was
her first movie was actually
The Village. I know, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 'cause she was a blind chick. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Brody was
Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody, yeah, he was in it too.
Yep.
Yeah. Great movie up until
Joaquin Phoenix was in it.
Yeah.
William Hurt.
That's
Sigourney Weaver. Cast was huge in the
yeah.
Village.
It's just that last 20. The twist ending is where I was like, "Fuck this." I was honestly mad. I remember I watched it again with you, and I remember just being like, "Fuck off!"
It threw me so off. I was like, "What?" I actually sat in my chair, and I did this same sit up like this at the end of Glass, which we'll talk about.
Oh yeah.
But I sat up in my chair, and I was just like,
"Wait, what?"
What?
But the difference is, well, you were like, "Okay, actually, that's really cool." I was like, fuck no.
The only thing that made me like I love the fact that like, oh man, they raised their kids in this area, 1800s. There's monsters still in the forest. That way they'll never make it to the roads. I'm just like, that is awesome. The whole, like, we paid off the government or whatever to not fly over this area was a little kind of far-fetched for me.
That's exactly,
I mean,
like, it's a huge reach. You're like, well, okay, but, like, how much can you pay them off that they'll continue to never do it?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, someone's going to go, I don't fucking care. They paid us off 20 years ago.
Yeah.
They haven't made a payment since because they don't have any fucking money. And eventually, that whole section is going to be so inbred that it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably already getting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they were already, 20 years deep?
Well, at least. I mean, she was a little child.
Because she was born there.
Yeah.
She wasn't born there.
She was a child.
She wasn't born there, that's right. But that's all, and she was blind, so that's all she knew. But, like, just...
Yeah.
You know? Hey, what about The Happening? Let's not do any more of Knight's movies.
The Happening is where it really,
I've yet to watch it. I remember because you said, don't watch it. That's exactly what you said. Every other Knight movie, you were like, watch it. I mean, you might like it. And I've watched Lady in the Water a couple of times since then. And every single time, I'm still just like, special effects are great.
Mm-hmm.
Like the actual boogeyman or whatever
those wolves and the
the Baba Yaga, if you will.
Yep. The giant eagle at the end. Great movie.
A lot of great visuals.
But then he went The Happening, Last Airbender, After Earth, and it was just...
After Earth.
But then he did a movie called The Visit.
Which I haven't seen yet. But
I won't say anything about it, but it is
amazing.
It was a return to form. He shot it for like $1 million. He
funded
it himself.
Yeah, he started doing that. He's just started funding his own movies.
He funded Glass himself.
I know. He took all the profits he made from, I think it was The Visit. Or no, from Split.
Split. I mean, yeah.
He took a chunk of the profits from Split, put it towards that, came up with the rest of the money, and then...
Because then he shot Split for only like $10 million.
Yeah.
So we get this return to form with The Visit, and then he announces Split. So I'm ready to hop into Split. Are you?
I'm all in.
Okay.
I'm all in.
Split, before I watched it, I had no idea it was connected to Unbreakable.
I am so, I am jealous of you. I am jealous of you.
None whatsoever.
And nobody ruined that for you.
Because I was living in Vancouver at the time, and a guy I knew there, he won tickets to watch it on a Wednesday and open before opening for anyone else.
Still jealous that you didn't have that ruined.
And I went in there. I was like, yeah, I want to watch that. You know, The Visit was great. I was, I'm an old school.
Never mind, the trailers for Split fucking sold that movie hard.
Yeah. Well, James McAvoy alone, just seeing him. You know what? This movie, I don't care. Like, if critics don't like it or the Academy doesn't like it, whatever.
I think he did get snubbed too.
The fact that he didn't get any type of recognition during nominations
is insane.
For this,
it's insane.
He played at least a dozen. He plays a lot more in Glass, but I think he played at least a dozen in Split.
I think he was. Yeah, he does more in Glass,
There's
but
a lot more in Glass.
Because
they're quick. They're quick.
He's like 19 in Glass.
Yeah.
But in Split, I think he was about 13 to 14.
I think he really only does 5 or 6.
There's
but then they
5
do,
or 6
the
that
video
are just
things.
the strength ones. Those are the main ones.
Yeah.
But
but you see his facial expressions, his eyes, just the look in his eyes alone, everything shifts.
I've always liked James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Okay? I've sat through the shithole movie that's called The Wanted. Okay? Partly because it's a comic book movie. Yeah. And I thought it was going to be good. Half an hour in, I was like, this is going to be garbage. Part of the problem, though, was I never read the comic book. Okay? Mm-hmm. It wasn't until later that I did.
Yeah.
And that's a garbage comic book.
It's not a good comic.
It's a fucking terrible one.
No.
But anyway, regardless, so immediately I liked James McAvoy, The Wanted. Or is it Wanted, or is it...
Just Wanted.
I don't know why I'm saying
The Wanted.
The Wanted. Anyway, but immediately I was like, oh, okay, so much so that when he was cast as Xavier, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. No problems here.
Yeah, no whatsoever.
I have absolutely no issues with this casting at all.
Yeah.
What the hell? I saw a picture of him, and he was in. What the hell was one of his first roles? Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Wasn't he in that?
I think yes, he was. He was the half goat guy or whatever.
It blew my mind because Michelle started watching the Graham Norton show, which if you haven't heard. It's this BBC talk show.
It's basically the UK's big talk show.
Yeah. Okay. So you're familiar with it.
Oh yeah,
right?
I've watched a lot of clips from it.
It's actually it is my favorite talk show.
Oh, it's good.
They look like they're having so much fun. Or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
They had them on the other. We watched last night. I don't know when it was actually, or I think it was around Split.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Glass. That's right, because they had what's her face, Ellie Statler.
Okay. Yep. Sarah Paulson.
Staple, Dr. Staple.
Dr. Staple.
I don't know why I said Ellie Statler, but Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
That's why I said that.
Dr. Ellie Sadler. Dr. Ellie Staple.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, so they were on it, and they showed a picture of him, and I remember just being like, "Motherfucker was in that movie? No way!" So anyway, I've been a huge fan of him, but I saw that trailer for Split and was like, he's on a whole nother fucking level. Like, you're right. For him to not even get a nomination is partly because it's a horror flick.
Want to hear something crazy?
Yeah, I do.
Split was going to be Joaquin Phoenix.
Really?
Joaquin Phoenix was doing it, and then some kind of filming conflict came up. Literally, like a week. I'm going to say a week before they were going to start shooting Split. James McAvoy hopped over from X-Men to this. That's why he's bald.
Huh.
Yeah. 1 week.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know what? Joaquin Phoenix is a weird dude.
I think he wanted Joaquin just because he's always like Joaquin and Bruce Willis have always been his two go-to guys for most of his movies.
It makes sense.
So to have them fighting each other would have kind of been,
Yeah, okay. I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
I'm super glad because, like, I mean, I don't think Joaquin Phoenix is a terrible actor by any means. He's not on this level, though.
No.
Like,
he's good at getting into a character, but the hop between characters like James McAvoy.
And that's the biggest thing. Like in the trailers, you see the different characters, but when you watch the movie, you don't know how seamless. And in some cases, like he does a switch 4 times in a scene.
Yeah.
In the same scene.
Mm-hmm.
So not only does he change the voice, he changes the voice, he changes the mannerisms, he changes how he speaks. He changes literally everything about his character.
His age, his sex, everything changes.
Everything. And it's like that, and it's perfect. And like I said, I had liked him all the way through, okay? I see James McAvoy, I go, okay, all right. It could be the biggest pile of shit surrounding him.
Yep.
He's going to be the one that I go, okay, he's the guy that stands out. But I was not prepared for this.
No.
I was not, even the trailers, it was like, holy fuck, it sold it. Like I said, right at the beginning, I said it sold it, did not prepare me for this.
Mm-hmm.
I was in, Michelle and I both, we watched it, and within the first actual time that you see him, and then he's talking to the girls completely different, I was just like, oh. And Michelle is very, she's big on depictions of dissociative identity disorder.
Yes.
Okay? She's really big on that. One of her favorite movies is from Sally Field's. Is Sally Field playing? I can't remember the character, but it's based on a real woman.
Okay.
And she does something very similar. She's multiple personalities, and every single personality. One's a kid, one is a dude, and it's just complete change. It's actually a tour de force. That's the phrase I was looking for. It's a tour de force by Sally Field.
Such a great phrase. This
is a tour de force by James McAvoy.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
I've always loved his acting. I did not think he was capable of what he pulled off in Split.
No, you haven't seen anything that would even give you the slightest hint.
Yeah.
Like right away when you meet him, and he's in the psychiatrist's office or therapist or whatever, and she's talking to him, and she goes like, "Who am I talking to today?" type of thing, and it's Kevin, right, or whoever the fuck.
It was Barry.
That's right.
She thought she was talking to Barry, but it was really Dennis took over.
That's right.
Dennis was pretending to be Barry.
Yeah, that's right. And I remember just being like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
And that Betty Buckley, Dr. Karen Fletcher, she was great in this movie.
She was absolutely great.
I love the scenes with her in this.
Nobody is terrible in this movie.
Nobody's terrible.
Nobody's terrible in this movie.
But her, just like, she had great chemistry with whichever character McAvoy was playing at the time.
Exactly. Like that's so
I really feel bad for her at the end.
Oh.
When she meets the Beast.
That was the first time you see the Beast.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to the Beast.
Yeah.
But just like there's like this mythology behind all of it too. Like he's got all these different characters. I mean, the big ones were Patricia.
Yeah, Patricia.
Patricia.
Kevin.
Hedwig.
Hedwig.
Love Hedwig.
Hedwig is great.
Hedwig is so
Dennis.
good. Dennis. Yeah, that's pretty much the three big ones.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Beast.
And then the Beast, and then Kevin Wendell Crumb.
Yeah, but
So,
where do you
it's
start?
So
right?
good.
Where
It's
do you
so
start? Yeah.
like
What I
when I
like
saw trailers, I was expecting just a suspenseful kidnapping type of film. Like I didn't.
Yeah, with the multiple personality
Yeah,
bit,
I didn't know.
But I didn't really know what I was getting into. I didn't think there would be as many horror elements to it. Because there was a couple of parts where I was like, this is actually kind of fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But I love how it starts, like most really good horror flicks start off with. They set the table. Here's a psychiatrist. Here's the dude with multiple personalities. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a pretty banter-like relationship.
Yep.
You know? Almost motherly type of thing. She knows that he can be dangerous. She knows that. She doesn't know how many personalities, but she knows there's quite a bit. And she's also looking onto it. She wants to help him ultimately.
Yeah.
And then the kidnapping hits, which was crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
You know, and the girls all get taken.
3 girls there. Anya Taylor-Joy is Casey Cook. Love her. She's such a great actress.
Yeah.
Ever since The Witch, I'm watching that girl and everything.
I haven't seen The Witch.
Witch is so good.
That's right.
You like Hereditary? Watch The Witch.
Oh, Hereditary.
Yeah, it's like 1800s Hereditary.
What'd you watch first? Did you watch The Quiet Place first and then Hereditary?
Yes. Yeah, because I watched Quiet Place in the theater when it came out.
Oh, yes.
Hereditary, I didn't watch the video.
Flipped. I had it flipped, so I watched Hereditary first.
Okay.
I don't know. I think Hereditary is better.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, okay, so, yeah, the kidnapping hits.
Yeah.
They establish that there's her, who's not the cool kid, you know, who actually, like, hates the girls that she's with.
Yeah, it doesn't even want to be there.
Yeah, she was not even, like, she was, like, it was a charity case.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, she was part of this.
That's all it was, because her dad invited her, or knows their neighbors.
Whatever the scenario was. You know, she was, or it was her uncle. It was her uncle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was living with her uncle.
Right,
That's right, and that leads to the big plot reveal for her. But, like, so you have the stereotypical idiot cheerleaders and her, and they're doing this whole thing, and they're, like, sometimes I watch these movies and I'm just like, is this real? Like, is this how women would really act? Or, like, people in general? But, yeah, you hear about it all the time, like, you know, the chick gets kidnapped 4 miles from her house, and ends up living there for 10 years because she doesn't think to ever try to get away.
Mm-hmm.
Then you hear of other stories where they're, like, kidnapped. As soon as they were, like, able to not be watched, they're, like, chewing through ropes and shit to get out. So it's kind of weird how some people freeze up.
Yep.
And other people just are like, no, we gotta get out, right? I like that, what the hell was her name in the movie? Cassie?
Yeah, Casey.
Casey. So she's constantly trying to figure out a way out while they're all just like, well, we're fucked.
Yeah,
we're fucked.
She's getting to learn the personalities, see which ones she can play with, which ones are the gullible ones. Goes right for Hedwig.
Right for Hedwig.
Yeah.
First time you meet Hedwig, though, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you've met kids like that.
I love Hedwig so much.
I actually love, like, I love that the first time you see him in Glass, he kicks the door.
Yeah.
He kicks the fucking garage door like a badass and then runs because it's loud. I was like, that is awesome. But, like, man, like, this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one because, like, I haven't watched it nearly as much as Unbreakable, but fuck, it's
it's crazy suspenseful.
It's crazy suspenseful.
I mean, you're like, even though you don't really like the other 2 girls, you're rooting for all 3 of these girls to get out of there.
Oh yeah, no, you don't want anyone.
This guy's fucked.
You don't want anyone.
Yeah.
You know, especially because they start talking about the whole plan is to get them prepared for the beast.
Right.
And as soon as they say that, then you're like, because you hear about stuff like this in real life all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately I'm looking at it like it's a rape kill scenario, and those always get under my skin. Like, that's one of the worst things I think that anybody can ever do to anyone else is just that whole thing.
Yeah.
Plus, they're young girls too.
Yeah.
And that just makes it even worse because it's just like, if that happens, the rest of their life is a hell of a lot harder. I'm not going to say it's impossible, you know, but it's a hell of a lot harder. Just and not speaking from experience, but I mean, how could it not be, right?
Mhm.
So immediately I'm just like, oh god, just get out. Doesn't matter if I hate these two, and I didn't hate them, but I wasn't
didn't
like,
hate them.
I just wanted them out because you don't want anything bad to happen to them. But you're really rooting for
There's
her.
a few times where you actually think like one of them is going to get out of there.
Exactly.
They come damn close a few times.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Man. But even just like the little things where she starts figuring out, oh, this, and this, then they get caught, and then he fixes all the problems.
Yep.
Splits them up, like all these things that he's doing. But the first time they mention the Beast, you're just like, holy shit, how is this gonna happen?
How, as a collective, they're called the Horde.
Exactly. Like the ones that are with the Beast are called the Horde.
Yeah.
And even just like, so as we're finding out that he's got all these personalities, and one of them is called the Beast, and the Beast is like the one you don't ever want to meet.
This is what the film's building to the Beast reveal.
The Doctor is going through this, and she's learning, and you hear things about how like when there's been like documented cases where somebody switches personalities, their heart rate changes, their blood pressure changes, their physicality changes.
Everything. Like one personality has diabetes.
Exactly. So, and you're just like, this is crazy that your mind is that powerful that it does this, you know? And that was one of the things Michelle pointed out too. She's like, yeah. And she's literally like, this is actually like really factual. And I was like, oh, okay. Shut up, I'm trying to watch the movie. I never said that. I want to continue having sex, right? So I didn't say that. I talk big. Fact of the matter was, I was like, oh, that's really great. But in my head, I was like, the fuck did I just miss?
Now I gotta rewind it.
God damn it. But seriously, like, so she's already like nodding, like giving the approval. So I'm just like, okay,
I
great.
should have done it with Unbreakable. See, it's really like this. This is how calm guys are.
Please.
Real life.
I think she spent most of it watching it the same way I watch most of the vet shows.
Yeah.
Oh, what a cute puppy! Oh, poor guy's
back to the phone.
He's got to lose a leg. Well, good thing it's just one. Man, this Reddit is crazy. She said that to me because I said that to her once. I said like, you watch some of the shows with me the same way I watch shows with you with your phone in your head. She's like, you watch all your shows like that. I said, no, not all of them. Ones I've seen a bunch of times, yes.
Yep.
Because it's all background shit while I'm doing all this other stuff that means nothing to you. Again, I didn't say that last part. But that's what I was saying.
It was in there.
Yeah. I'm actually glad that we're going through this because now like, I'm remembering more and more. And I actually like the way that they build up the Doctor as the eventual savior. Yeah. They're really building her up because she's starting to figure it out. Mm-hmm. She's starting to realize it's fucking serious. Yeah. It is not good. And even Casey is starting to realize. Like, at first she's like, okay. But the more she gets to know all the personalities and the reverence that they speak of the Horde and the Beast, she's like, we're fucked. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm. We're gonna do whatever we can to get the fuck out of here. She tries to get them to work together. They don't. They turn into selfish bitches and they try to do whatever they can. Yeah. The first time that you see the Beast was a holy fucking shit moment. They show that scene in the trailer where he's bending the bars, and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ. That's freaky. But when you actually see the Beast, and he does the whole thing...
Well, he want to say he becomes Barry. And Barry goes to a train station.
Yes!
It was a Rosedown.
That's right.
And then he goes on to the subway.
How awesome is that now in retrospect with the train scene?
But you know what? Oh, I don't know. We'll talk more about that last. But yeah. So he goes on the subway, and on subway is where he becomes.
That's right.
And he swings out and then runs down the tracks.
But the whole
thing, just like the veins, and you see the muscle just like freaking.
At no point in time, like he's jacked in this movie.
Oh, okay? Yeah.
And it's incredible that he came off of X-Men to do this. Because he doesn't look jacked in any of the X-Men movies. No. He's a fucking tank in this movie. Yeah. Okay. And the second that, like, you know, like he's a tank, but then he's the Beast and he's just veined out, shredded, looks like he's going to break things. And you're right, like on the train, it's just, because he takes his shoes off. Yeah. I remember that. That's fucking weird. And then it was just like, oh, the voice is ungodly.
Oh, that voice. Oh.
That voice, I can't.
We are the broken.
Yeah.
Just like, oh.
That's good. That was good. That was really good.
Yeah, it's creepy. I just give myself chills doing the voice myself.
Man. And then like you said, he flips out, runs down the track, and he's like running slash like animal running, and you're like, oh, holy fuck, it's over now. Mm-hmm. All this build up for that moment, and it paid off hugely.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
God.
And he's crawling on walls, like.
They show like a couple of clips of that in the trailer. I remember seeing that, and it was just like, oh man, that just fucking looks weird. Like it is jarring. It's a movie. It's a fake fucking unreal movie. Yeah. I saw that and I was like, that's jarring. That's like what's her face from The Exorcist doing the crab walk.
Yeah.
The crab walk up the stairs. Yeah, it's all gross, and you're just like, ugh.
She snapped it. Ugh. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my god, like I can't get
nothing about it looks right.
Yeah, it's just like you shouldn't be able to do this. You know? Oh man.
But his idea is to devour the ones that aren't broken.
Yeah, exactly. Because
literally
the broken
devour them.
That's right. Eat the unbroken so that the broken can inherit the earth. Because, of course, he's broken.
Yes.
Multiple of his personalities are broken. His whole reason for being is because of his mother. Mm-hmm. His mother broke him. And that's how this happened. The beast came because of his mother.
Right. Came to save Kevin.
And that's why Casey is spared, because she's broken. We didn't see this at first, but she's got the cuts.
And the scars. Like
she's got the cuts, she's got the scars.
Her uncle beat her.
She talks about how her uncle beat her and did other things to her. The stuff that I can't stand.
You don't want to think about. But
that you don't ever want to think about, and that happens, and then I couldn't get over that. He's pulling the bars, and then he's just like, and fucks off.
Yeah. Took
a shot, too. All these things, and I was just like, I can't.
Shotgun, right?
Yeah, shotgun.
Boom! And then he keeps walking.
I was like, I can't fucking get over it. And then they have that awesome scene.
How he kills the doctor. With that weird. And then just
crushes
crunching.
Her to death. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right, because arms are like this, and it's just like this.
And he just like locks it like, and just pulls in.
Couldn't get over that. And then it's just like.
And then the two girls.
Oh.
You see him like eating their intestines. Like you see their guts just getting pulled out. It's a horror movie. It's a suspense horror.
It's 100%. It's suspenseful horror. It's more suspense with. I would say it's a suspenseful thriller with horror elements.
Yes.
Because when they do hit you with the horror, it's like it's
scary. Yeah, because it goes supernatural. Because you weren't expecting like the Beast. Okay, he's gonna be this crazy bad guy. He's gonna kill you.
You didn't expect
rape you.
That's right. But you didn't literally. Well. Now you realize he's not raping you. He is eating you.
He's eating you.
He is eating you. And, well, it's great that I weren't raped, but, you know, but even still. And then, like, I love the scene because he gets away, which I didn't think was going to happen.
Okay, but first, before that happens, you got Casey finds the note from the doctor that says, say his name, Kevin Wendell.
Oh, yes. So
she says it, and the Beast is like,
That's right.
And then Kevin comes out, he's talking to her.
Yes, I forgot all about that's right.
And then he feels the Beast coming back. He's like, "You gotta run," and that's where he's going on the.
That's right, because then she gets she gets in that cell.
Yeah.
That's right. She gets in the cell, and he's fucking losing it, and then the cops come. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Yeah, because
then you find out the whole thing is in a zoo.
Yeah.
And that he worked there.
Exactly.
So he had access to all of this stuff.
All of this shit. But even just the clips, like when she's going through the video clips and seeing the different personalities.
Yeah.
And they actually have the one that's diabetic, and you're just like, this is fucking unreal. Mm-hmm. The whole time you're mesmerized because you're like, this is the same guy. This is fucking Professor X, and now he's all of these people, and distinctly different all the way through.
And I love the fact, too, that in the credits, he's credited for every role. Yeah. It's just like even at the end of Glass, because the Glass he must have played 20-plus characters.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ooh. James McAvoy.
Yeah.
And eventually you get to Bruce Willis, Samuel Jackson.
Like, oh, man.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry, like, okay, so, my favorite scene, one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, because, like, it's really hard to pick one, but one of my favorite scenes is literally at the end where the Beast is having a conversation with Patricia
In the mirror.
and Dennis. Or is it just Patricia? And it's the mirror.
Yeah.
So you see him as the Beast, Patricia in the mirror,
Yeah.
and then they switch. And I remember just being like, that is amazingly
So
shot.
he got away, and you're just like, this is crazy.
And I watched the deleted ending, the original, one of the endings, right?
Okay.
And they had it like he's on a building overlooking a school, and there's a bunch of kids, and I remember thinking like, that's a crazy ending. But the actual official ending with him like with that glass piece or whatever, the mirror, and I remember just being like, this is way more chilling because you don't know where the fuck he's gonna go.
That's way more chilling, though. That other ending does lead into Glass because he gets cheerleaders from the school.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Although, I mean,
Whatever.
it doesn't matter because then when you get to that coffee scene, and this is the part that pisses me off because it was wrecked for me.
It was wrecked. Okay, but while he's doing the conversation with Patricia in the mirror,
Sorry, yes.
that music started playing, and I'm in the theater and I'm watching. Like, okay, Unbreakable came out in 2000. I gave up hope I was ever going to see a sequel.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
Disney funded Unbreakable. They didn't want anything to do with it. Universal was doing Split, so why would I think this would be any way connected to Unbreakable?
Exactly.
So I'm watching it, and the music starts playing. I'm like, oh, this music sounds really familiar. I'm thinking, like, what is this? And then they cut to the coffee shop, and it's the TV's playing, and then the guy behind the counter is talking or whatever. He looks, and he looks right at David Dunn.
Awesome.
What's it? David Dunn.
Awesome.
And
but
the guy I was with, also named Chris. Shout out to Chris because I think he watches some of these.
Hey, Chris.
Both of us, because he was a huge Unbreakable fan too. Both of us were just like, oh, like I couldn't stay quiet in the theater.
How could you?
I was like,
because I knew that it was coming. So even though the music hit or whatever,
yeah,
I spent the whole movie going like, okay, like, is it a stinger? Where does he come in? Now, luckily, the movie was so good that it was able to block that thought process. But when we finally, like, when we got to the diner scene, I literally went, that's where he is.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of disappointing that I didn't have that.
Yeah.
But I was still just like, man, that's still fucking sweet.
Yeah.
That's still fucking sweet that we have, like, they call it a stealth sequel. It's not a stealth. I don't think it as more of a sequel. I would say Glass is a sequel.
Glass is a sequel to both movies.
But that's just it, right?
This was an origin story.
Just another
origin story.
But
that you don't realize is an origin story.
It's still pretty fucking sweet at the end, because then you're just like, that's why he got away. And I was like, you know what, to be honest, if they had done a conventional sequel, I don't think I would have liked it.
Yeah.
It's really hard
to play
to...
it, right?
Exactly. So, like...
Whereas now,
you'll have done
you got everyone invested in
then...
this character that you didn't even realize it was part of this.
Exactly.
And now they're like...
Exactly.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and there's still just enough in that character because there's so many personalities. They're not all with the Horde. Some of them don't want anything to do with the Horde.
Yeah.
So there's still that, you know, light aspect to it. But, oh, man. Still, though, like, I had chills watching that movie all the way through.
Mm.
Like I said, like, it was great enough that I didn't spend the whole time going like, oh, where's David Dunn? But there were parts where I was just like, where? So how does it, like, is it a stinger? Is it after the credits? Like, how do they do this?
Mm-hmm.
It's still a great scene, though. It's still awesome. Like, and because I like it because it's subdued. It's not him fighting a criminal, looking up and going, oh, it's the Horde or whatever. It's literally him in a coffee shop going, okay.
Yep. Just like, and then you just know, like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
How did he pull this off?
Yeah.
How is David Dunn in this?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I found out that Buena Vista, which is Disney, they own Disney. Well, that's their big company. Universal only released Split and Glass in North America. Disney's releasing it around the rest of the world.
Oh, I always forget.
I
always forget Buena Vista is a Disney company. I always forget that because they did it. They for a while there, they would do anything.
Yeah,
it didn't
because they also own Touchstone and Hollywood Pictures.
Right. So like
Miramax.
That aspect there where I'm just kind of like, why? So why is everyone like freaking out about Disney owning all these characters when couldn't they just release them under these other banners?
Yeah.
Like I know, okay, superhero stuff. It's it's under the Marvel banner. There's no way it's going to be anything other than Marvel.
No.
So we're never going to... I don't... Like, Deadpool 3... Like Reynolds said, it's going to be a completely different type of movie, which is fine.
Which means
Deadpool
PG-13.
2... That's what I said to Michelle. I said, that's PG-13.
That's just
right
a nice
there.
way of saying we're cutting out the raunchy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, why can't Disney, so Deadpool made so much money because of what it is. Didn't make a ton of money because it was PG. Made a ton of money because it was a really good rated R superhero movie. Okay? Kids are watching it, maybe not in the theater.
They're watching
but
it.
they're watching it.
They love Deadpool.
Okay? So why can't Deadpool 3 be X-rated?
Yeah. Or
not X-rated, but R-rated. Why can't it be? You know, release it under Miramax, because I remember Miramax.
Yep.
There's no restrictions. There wasn't it was, I just don't understand why.
Well, Deadpool's going to be Marvel, right? So they're going to have to release under Disney.
Why can't it?
But the other Fox properties...
Why can't it be under its own wing?
Like, I want to know what the hell's happened to Alien, Predator, Die Hard, Speed. These are all Fox franchises.
What I've heard, but, okay. How, I'm confused with this. Did Disney get all of Fox franchises?
All of it.
Because I thought it was just, the X-Men stuff.
All of it. The only thing they don't get is Fox kept their sports network on TV. They get their TV too, so they own The Simpsons now.
So is Fox just not making movies anymore?
No.
Huh.
They're not. Disney bought them. Now, Disney could keep the Fox banner.
I was going to say.
And put 20th Century Fox, a Disney
or
company.
Searchlights or whatever the fuck they want.
Something like that.
Why not? That's what I'm getting at.
They could.
If you have all of these banners under Disney, wait, wasn't the Santa Claus Buena Vista?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Disney.
Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Buena Vista is all that. All of it.
But but that's okay. So that's essentially my point. I guess the superhero stuff, Marvel. There's no way around it.
No way around that.
But
it's all gonna go.
But I guess my question is why does Deadpool have to be there?
I know.
And
that's because it's Marvel.
You know, and X-Men. Because like I said, I've said this a couple of times. After seeing Avengers, Infinity War, and eventually we'll get to Endgame. Okay? So we're looking at 40 characters in Infinity War. 40 plus in Endgame.
Yep.
Okay? So then, eventually, once everything goes through and X-Men is being integrated into it, that's 100 characters. Because they'll do X-Men versus Avengers. Just dumb, because that was a stupid comic.
It was a stupid story, and it wouldn't really mean anything on the screen now anyways, because I don't want to see them fighting Captain Marvel and Black Panther. I would have wanted to see them fight Thor and Captain America and Iron Man. Okay,
hold on. How about Onslaught then? So now, X-Men and the Avengers team up to take out Onslaught.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, or something to that effect. Something that justifies having that many people.
Right.
Even watching Avengers Endgame and or Avengers Infinity War. Immediately, I remember, I love the movie, but I've said it before on our Camcast, and I've talked about it with you a bunch of times. The problem is that everyone has their favorites, so everyone's favorites, depending on who it is going to get some sort of a short shift.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? And they knew that, because after Infinity War came out, and people were the Captain America fans were Captain America said four things.
Yeah.
Black Panther had
7 minutes total on screen
Black Panther had $1 billion movie.
Yeah.
Barely said anything.
And then doesn't show up till the end.
You know? So it was a Iron Man, Thor, Doctor Strange, Guardians movie.
Pretty much.
You know? And it's funny because you think about it, you're out of the grouping that I just said, Doctor Strange was one of the weakest movies of the bunch. You know, even Spider-Man had the best parts, in my opinion, in the whole movie. Okay, the best parts. We saw the Spider Sense. We saw him get upgraded to an Avenger just by sheer force, just by saying no, I'm here to help.
Yep.
Right? Has an emotionally heartbreaking death scene. Okay, but even he wasn't in that long either. If you look at total runtime, 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah, not much at all.
Because there was the fight scene where he's helping Tony Stark in New York. So that's about 2 or 3 minutes. So maybe 10 minutes. 10 minutes tops. And so now they've said, like, okay, all you Captain America fans, don't worry, because Endgame, a lot more Captain America.
A lot of Cap.
A lot more Black Widow. We're going to get Hawkeye. Sorry, Ronan, but you're going to get Clint Barton. You know what I mean?
But now...
But they knew it.
Guardians fans, sorry, you're not going to get a lot of them now.
Exactly.
Because they're dust.
You know? You're still going to get a shit ton of Iron Man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're also going to get a shit ton of Thor. You know?
But you know what? I'm okay getting a shit ton of Iron Man and Thor in this, because it's probably going to be the last time.
Not for Thor. Not for Thor.
His contract's technically up, though. It's up to Marvel whether they want to pass Thor along in different stories.
Right, but so okay, so now,
I mean. So
now we jam the X-Men into this.
I know. It's too much. They should be separate
It's
stories.
going to have to be like a 6-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, if we look at it, like, just using, I'll use, Infinity War as an example. Even then, now we're looking at 30 seconds a character.
Yeah.
And that depends on the character. There are Gambit fans that think he's the greatest character of all. Do you think he's going to have a big part in this movie? No. Especially because this Gambit movie's never happening.
Mm-hmm.
Although Channing Tatum may direct it.
It's not going to happen, though.
But it's never going to happen.
Disney agreed to release any Fox movie in production.
I know.
They haven't started again. They got like 3 weeks to start it if they want.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
No.
It's.
But even then, that's a classic example. Or how about the fans of Dazzler or Longshot? You're not even going to see them in the fucking movie.
No.
They're never going to be in these movies.
I think right now, because they're trying to figure out how they introduce mutants, they're obviously going to start from scratch. They're not going to bring the other cast in from the Fox movies.
It has to be a recast.
It's going to be all recasted.
It has to be a recast because you're going to be too beholden to those previous characters.
Yeah.
Especially Wolverine.
Yeah. So I think you undo this.
Yep.
You unlock the mutant gene.
It's the easiest way to do it. It's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
But the other problem, though, is if this is literally like an actual rewriting time, like a time travel movie, where it actually they make it so that this never happens, then what? Because that's one of the theories. Like, they don't reference anything in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't act like a kid who was dead,
mm-hmm.
who died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At all.
There's no indication.
So like Iron Man 3, where like
the
whole trailer was like
stress disorder because of of Avengers, right? Like because of that. So, but they don't have any of that.
No.
They don't have him literally being like, fuck. Hell, Aunt May is thrilled he's Spider-Man. If he died, even if he came back, do you think she'd ever want him to put the suit on?
There's obviously going to be some kind of mind wiping.
So
I don't know what's going to...
My vote, time travel. My vote is literally time travel. They go back in time. Because even the shots where they have it in New York for the first Avengers.
It's Captain Marvel and Ant-Man are saving the day in this.
Yeah.
100%. The quantum realm is the key to all this. Captain Marvel is the key to defeating Thanos.
Physically beating the fuck out of him,
yeah.
while Ant-Man and whoever
goes with them,
Iron Man and Captain America
popping through time
to figure out how they can fucking stop it from happening.
Yeah.
And then it just never happened, right? But somehow Tony Stark's got to sacrifice himself. There's a theory that he's going to be the new AI in Spider-Man's costume.
I don't want AI in Spider-Man's costume, period. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's not Spider-Man if he's talking to AI in his costume. He shouldn't need a robot in his ear to tell him what to do because he should be smart enough to fucking figure it out. He is Spider-Man!
He's a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah, a brilliant,
15-year-old in the first one.
Brilliant
15-year-old kid. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And I'll throw this out there, way more proactive in the hero game than any of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
The most proactive, okay? If moving forward, if it's constantly going to be Karen or whatever new version he gets, or even Tony Stark, I'm not going to like it. The older he gets, the less I feel he needs it.
I just want
it's a Tony Stark.
I'm okay with him being AI. Just be like the new Jarvis at the Avengers fucking headquarters or something.
Like we originally thought was going to happen at the end of Ultron.
Yeah, exactly. But Anyway, that was Split.
That was Split with a rant of, well, you know what? If you've been watching, you know how it works.
I think I'm done with Split, though. Yeah.
Fuck Split. We're done with it.
Fuck the Split. So that wraps up this episode.
Yeah.
Because we're going to dedicate a whole episode to Glass.
These pancakes are delicious.